Hello all, welcome to Learning Mortgage. So now we are going to review the asset statements, all about the what the checkpoints to be reviewed, what are the basic checkpoints, what the criteria to be reviewed, the requirement of the assets, which is also known as the capital review. So the points will be covered, all which you need to review at the time of your review. So the topics will be covered in the assets are like how to review the asset statements and what are the basic checkpoints are, what are reserves and their requirements, the verification of deposits and what all the investment assets and their requirements, trust account, retirement account, the large deposit, how to detect and what's the course of action to that, and all the deductions and EMD, sales proceeds, IPC, gift and many more you are going to view in this document and later on. This is the first part of the video. So keep watching. You will receive the next video related to all below topics. So keep watching. So now in this today's video we are going to review the basic checkpoints and later on we will review the further deep into the assets review. So the first basic points of the assets review is all of the points which is mentioned in the below. When you are receiving the asset statements or BOA, verification of assets, so you have to know whether all the pages are available in the statement or not. This is the most important checkpoints. Okay, so you have to review all the pages. If the statements is reflecting 2, 5 or 10 pages, so all the pages should be there. So there will be no missing of any of the pages, whether it is reflecting the transaction or the page is reflecting blank. So you have to have all the pages in your bank statement. The second, the checkpoints will be the borrower name and the account number and the address of the borrower supposed to be reflect in the bank statement. The third will be the bank name and the institution's name. Is it reflecting in the bank or the institution name? So it will be there. The bank URL, bank link or bank statement supposed to be in the transaction. Sometimes you might have received transaction of 1 or 2 pages. In that cases, you supposed to have the bank link or stamps. You can have the bank account number or the borrower name and the address in the transaction, but you do not have the URL or the institution name or any bank stamp. So in that case you need to have the bank state or bank link in that transaction. Again, the start and the ending balance will be there, and there is no transaction missing and no crop and tear. Sometimes you might have seen the statement is available, but the top side or the bottom side or the right and left side has been cropped. So that is not a proper document. You have to have in your statement all perfect size and there will be no cropped, I mean to say that, and fully legible. You do not you can't accept the document which is not legible. So you can able to read all the transaction, borrower name and the description in the statement is fully legible. That only you can accept that bank statement. Otherwise you will not accept that. That is not legible. So you will make a condition for that. So there will be 2-month statement supposed to be in your file according to the loans. So or the quarterly statement if it is providing the quarterly, so there will be the most recent statement, quarterly statement supposed to be in the file, and the validity of the statements with the 45 days from the application date and the 120 days from the loan closing date or the no date, you can say. So these are the checkpoints, okay, which is the basics checkpoints you have to review first of uh, first of this is the basics checkpoint you have to review while you are going to deep into the bank statement. So these are the basics checkpoint. So now there will be a last deposit, the most important, and which most of the people miss to identify the last deposit, whether it is very easy to identify. So when the bank statement is typically covering the most recent two statements, which I have already told you, are due, and the lender must evaluate the last deposit. Okay, so last deposit, previously it was 50% for the conventional loan and the 1% of sale price of the average, whichever is less in the FHA. But now the guideline has changed, so we have to check the 50% of the total qualifying income. Okay, that will be the large deposit threshold for all the loan types. That is 50% of monthly qualifying income. So note it down here, monthly qualifying income. Okay, that if there is two borrower, each of the borrower is getting 5,000, and so the both will get the 10,000 monthly, and you are qualifying the borrower with the 10,000. So your last deposit will be 50% of that qualifying income, which is 5,000. Hope you get it. If the source of the last deposit is readily identified on the account statement, so there is no need to ask for that. So whenever you receive any deposit, which is the last deposit, which is 50% of the qualifying income, so you need to have the source of the deposit, correct? So sometimes you can see there is name of the borrower, the institution name, or such as the direct deposit from the employer, social security administration, IRS, state income refund, transfer of funds between the verified accounts. Verified accounts means you can verify from which account the funds are coming in. Okay, whether it is a borrower account or whether it is any third party or any non-borrower person. So you can verify that accounts. Okay, you means you have that statement, the source statement in your file, and you can verify. Okay, the source of the deposit is printed on the statements. It means suppose there are 1, 2, 3 bank statement and the funds are coming from XYZ. So in the description of the last deposit of 1, 2, 3 statement, it is reflecting the source document, which is ABC or XYZ. So in that case, you no need to ask for further clarification of that case. So it depends on the lender to lender. Some of the lender asking for the internal deposit as well if there is a last deposit. Some lender, they are not asking for if the deposit is the internal. So it depends on your project. It depends on your process. So that is better to ask with your manager and contact with your manager whether you will going to ask for the internal deposit or not. But if the interview is going on and you are sitting on an interview and the interviewer is asking you if there is an internal transfer, if the funds are coming from the borrowers, will you ask this? So your answer will be no. If there is an internal transfer, you will not ask for the source of that deposit. So this is the answer you are going to give to the interviewer. But when you are reviewing the file in your organization, so you need to ask with your supervisor whether you will ask or not. The guideline says you will not ask for that. Okay. Here it is. So internal transfer, which I have already explained you. Okay, between the borrower account, you can verify the transfer is coming from the borrower, and you can verify the borrower name or the account number in the description. In that case, you will not ask. Okay, the deposit from the investment account. So there is a account which you can verify that funds are coming from the investment accounts, okay, like the stock account or IRA account, or that kind of investment where the borrower is investing their fund in terms of stocks or anything like that. So in that case, if you are able to verify whether the deposit is coming from the investment account that is belongs to the borrower, so you will not ask that. If you are not able to verify whether the funds are coming from the investment account but this is not your borrower, you have to ask for the source of that deposit. Okay, so the third will be the deposit from the net proceeds. So what is the net proceeds? Okay, when the borrower is going to sell their property, whether it is existing properties or investment property, whether the properties will be, if he is going to sell and the funds is coming from that sale and deposit into your bank account, so that is called the net profit in a simple words. So in that case there will be a large deposit around $100,000, $200,000, $150,000, because the property value is more, right? When the borrower is selling that property, he might have receiving that large amount, and that is going to be deposited into your bank statement, correct? So in that case, you have to ask for the source of the deposits, and there will be a supporting document like the settlement statement, alter settlement statement, or the CD, closing disclosure. So in that case you can ask for the source of the deposits. Okay. Deposit from a non-borrower. If you are able to see there is a deposit and the deposits coming from a non-borrower, it means the person is not in the loan, he is any the third party persons and there is no link with the loan. Okay, so in that case you are able to identify the person is not a borrower. So in that case you will ask for that deposit, whether it is a more than your large deposit threshold or not. So in this case, which I have already given you the example, 5,000 is the large deposit in our case, and you see the deposit is coming from a third party and the deposit is 4,000. So you will ask for the deposit or not, because your deposit threshold is 5,000, but here the funds is coming is only 4,000. So in that case you will also ask for that deposit, because when a person is giving to you, okay, so that might be considered as a gift because the person is not in the loan. And you can see the person is a third party and the borrower might have asked him or her to help with the funds, and the third party person is helping borrower by giving a gift. So in that case the gift requirement comes in. Okay, you have to ask for the source of the deposits. Also you will condition for the gift condition, the supporting document to source the gift funds. So we will go further and will deep into that regarding the gift requirement. Okay, so it is all about for this today's videos. Let's meet on a second video and we'll discuss more about the assets. Thank you.